Good morning, buenos dias, Powur Hitters, Solar Warrior Tribe. Today is Tuesday, April 5th, 2022. My name is Jarrett McAllister, your mentor and co-host, alongside my main man, Jonathan Brunasso. What's up, brother? I see you in the car.
Yes, sir. Always working on the go. No matter where we close deals, we make it happen. And happy birthday to Jarrett McAllister. Type in the chat, happy birthday. Jarrett's here today on his birthday. Happy birthday, brother.
Gracias, amigo.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Super pumped, stoked. 38 feels good. Yeah, looking to have a great year this year, man. And thank you guys all for the happy birthday wishes. Looking to have a great day today.
Because of that walking treadmill, you're so
That's
fit.
it, straight
Looking
up.
so good.
Walking all nice and lean in the 38.
And today we're joined with Tom Cotter and Rick Joseph's team. If you don't know them, they're two extremely known leaders in Powur. Tom does a training with Rick Joseph, and just a shout out to their team and their leadership and Rick Joseph. I mean, Rick Joseph is single-handedly responsible for bringing in multiple execs from REC and SunPower, even Paul Winowski, and our partner VP development, Ryan, who just joined. So big shout out to Rick Joseph, what he's done for Powur. Like, honestly, one of the biggest contributors to this platform with the other leaders. And Tom as well, winning the Andrea Budd Award last year. So glad to have them on. We might be flip-flopping trainings back and forth moving forward. Tuesdays, 10 a.m.
Awesome.
Pacific. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, no, Tom, Rick, both a couple solar studs in this industry, man. Great to team up with you guys.
All right, so let's move into success stories, Jarrett. If anyone has some success stories, share a few quick ones. How you got the lead, consultant, ambassador, you just joined, you door knocked, you got an install, you posted on social, someone hit you up, anything at all.
Yeah, real quick, I'd just like to share, over the past 3 days or whatever, closed 2 deals, both mentor deals. One with our mentor, Jason Reedy, out in Texas, had a lead out in California. It's great when mentors can help other mentors out. He had a deal out here in California. It was a Sonova PPA, crushed it for one of his friends, super stoked. We pulled it over from Sunrun. He had just signed. He had reached out to him on Facebook. Always be reaching out to your friends on Facebook. Let them know where you're at. Saw what we could offer, crushed the competition. We got him. Now his parents, who just signed up 3 days ago, they're gonna come on over. He's got neighbors, so fantastic job there, Jason. And then my buddy Grant. We just sold a deal yesterday for a gentleman who actually, if you guys are familiar with the show Yellowstone, he's one of the actors. He's the attorney general in that show. We just closed him on a deal, getting him set up with a solar system. So shout out to Grant and Jason. Great job, you guys.
Awesome. Any other success stories?
Hey, Robert had his hand up. What's up, Robert?
Hey, what's up? What's up, guys? Yeah, no, I just really have an attitude of gratitude. I had 4 installs go in within a week. Looks like we'll be able to close out another 4 deals this week. I said before, like tomorrow's my birthday, but ends up going to do another deal tomorrow. And never knew a good friend of mine. He owns a huge remodeling company here in Arizona. So I presented him the Powur platform. So tomorrow I'm meeting with all 10 of his sales reps. And soon as they get done with their remodel, they're switching it to, since they've already built the trust and rapport with the customer, to now pitch them solar as well. So he said he does like 40 projects a month. So that could be a huge contract for us. So I'm just attitude of gratitude going into 40 and just thank God that I'm with Powur, man. So excited for everybody and all the momentum.
Awesome, man. Great. Hey, and happy early birthday, Robert.
Hey, happy birthday to you, brother.
Robert Hollis, our Arizona mentor. Congrats to you, Robert. Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
Let's go with Jason Reedy, please. Go for it, Jason.
Well, happy birthday, Jarrett.
Hey,
you
brother.
didn't tell me anything about that. We were on the phone all weekend. So But the other thing I wanted to do was I wanted to say thank you and let everybody know that Jarrett is excellent when it comes to dealing with clients that even if they're your friends. So definitely work with him if you need to, even as a mentor. Like, I'm not licensed in California, so that's why I had to reach out to him so he could be able to help me out. He's also awesome with Sonova and packaging the deals correctly. So we were able to get Discovery collected and actually make him a better system for only a little bit more money. That would basically cover up all of his production, so he wouldn't have a true up on the PPA, which is he was going to be left with a large true up with Sunrun. So like that consultation and expertise aspect for Jarrett, like I like to commend him on that. It's awesome.
Nice.
I appreciate it.
Very
Thank you,
cool.
brother, for the kind words, man.
Those birthday kind words. Good job, guys. Let's go to Bati, your solar guy. If you can come off mute. Not sure if we can hear you if you're out there.
I don't see him.
Can you hear me?
There we go. How we doing?
Hey, yeah, happy birthday, Jared, and then also to the other guys. So we have the 5th, the 6th, and then mine is actually Thursday.
Yeah, you and Larry are on the 7th, man. That's great.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Happy
Yeah,
birthday, brother.
Yes, sir. Well, I've been on the solar platform for about a year now. And, this year, recently starting off in January, I made a Facebook post. A buddy of mine in San Antonio, Texas, reached out, hit me in my inbox. I was able to send him over a little information, tell him to send me his energy bill. He was just recently installed, I want to say 2 weeks ago. He has his neighbor across the street currently now getting solar as well. I have an install going on today with an old client of mine from years back. And one other story that I have to share, I have a party business with jumpers and jump houses. So over the weekend, I was doing a jumper party at a customer from Yelp. And I noticed that they had a big fifth wheel parked in the backyard and it didn't have solar. So I made sure that I did a good job with that jumper party. And on my way back, I gave them one of my flyers and asked them whether they're interested in getting a free energy report. And I looked at, they had an $800 energy bill. And right now I'm currently in the process of putting that one together. But thank you guys, man, and welcome. I'm glad to be on the platform.
Rockstar. Awesome.
Great job, buddy.
All right, let's see if we can sneak in 2 more real quick. MGAUL. MGAUL, if you want to come off mute, see if you're there.
Jonathan, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Welcome.
You monster. So freaking good to be on this with you, man. What a beast. So I think I mentioned it last week on my 17th follow-up. The guy goes, "Oh, I've been so busy. Thank you for chasing after me." I had to think of every way in the world to keep touching him without him getting a restraining order. So just for everyone out there, dude, they either have to tell me no or get a restraining order. And so I haven't had too many restraining orders yet. So I had another guy touch 13 times, alternating between text, voicemail, email. And so I just want to tell you guys, you know what, not more than every 3 days, but people are just busy. So I had a guy this morning, I've been chasing him for 3 months and he put me off again this morning. This is money to me. So, you can't get the girl at the dance unless you ask 10 of them. And then usually the 11th one will dance with you. So I just want to let you guys know, and to be as competitive as we are with Powur, I just know nobody can touch us. Nobody can touch us. So anyway, thank you guys. And Jonathan, you're a freaking monster, dude. Love you.
Thank you so much. I love the words. I love the words there. And even if that 11th girl has a lazy eye, we'll still dance with her. You know what I mean? Like, you dance with everybody. So great words.
Lazy-eyed ladies need loving too.
All right, we're gonna do Scott Crum and end it with Lewis. Scott Crum, mentor in the house.
What's up, my friends? Happy birthdays to everybody who has birthdays. I'll be real quick. It's been an amazing week. Closed a couple deals, have deals working all across the United States, Virginia, Texas, Utah. But what I'm really excited about is there's some people in this chat right now watching this for the first time ever. Last night, Tito and I had our first team meeting. Half the people we invited joined. We had 10 people there last night. On fire. You should have been there. We will be like you. We're following you. You have 127 in your list right now. We had 10 last night. For the first meeting, we had 10.
That's awesome.
We'll be at 1-7 before you know it. You should have been there. It was epic.
Woo! Hell yeah. All great words of inspiration. Great job, Scott and Tito and team. And I know Owen supports you guys. You're growing a business out there. So congrats. Got to start somewhere. I started in a pizza shop with 4 people doing my first presentation 3 years ago. So good job, Scott. And then let's go ahead and move to Luis Perez, top mentor seller. He just helped run a Spanish California Solar Saturday, the first ever in California with Lily, David, and JC. What's up, Luis?
That's right. That's right. What's up, JB? Yeah, Luis Perez here. Quick shout out to the team who is killing it. We do have some pretty good momentum going on. And as you mentioned, we had a pretty great, successful event this weekend. First Spanish event ever. And it was actually translated. And I want to give a quick shout out to Miles Sherwood, who was the translator for the event, who did a great job. And not only that, the day before the event, he helped one of his members close the deal. So congrats to you, Miles. And that week as well, I personally closed 3 deals, 2 from BNI and 1 ambassador. So we're pretty excited. We keep growing and we're excited to keep going, Jonathan. So we're super stoked.
Awesome. Thanks, Luis. Appreciate you, brother. It was good seeing you on Saturday. And we had a DJ and it was great. And then we're going to move on here, but Jordan Shaw, if you want to type something in the chat, hats off to Jordan Shaw, the second expansion system king. He has a training that he did yesterday. If someone wants to put the video and the link in the chat, that'd be great. So let's move on. A couple quick announcements and we'll get over to the training here in a few minutes. Work hard, play hard contest just ended at the end of March. Hats off to all the winners here. A lot of people on these teams. Today's training, Ubaldo, Corey Ventura, Jordan Shaw, Paul Leone, Chris Brunasso, David Marcel, Cynthia. Forgive me if I'm missing any names. JC Rangel, of course, Kiara Smithy, Zach Haynes under Jarrett's team, Sierra Sims with Cynthia Alvidrez, Wally Arita, and Chris Perez, Justin Santos ending up the top 35 here. So big shout out. Lots of people on this training are on this list, and we'll get the final winners Monday, Power Hour, 5 o'clock. They're going to announce the final winners and the details of this contest. So let's build into Monday's call. And speaking of building a home in Mexico and giving back, I just want to take a quick minute to let you know here that as many of you know, we do really get behind giving back. So I have made some resources here I'll share with you in the chat. I follow people that say philanthropy and giving back should be the first thing. It should be a forethought, not an afterthought. We've made resources here. You could put slides in your slide deck to homeowners. You could put pictures of the team building homes in Mexico, donating the solar. We've partnered with Give Power, building water solar plants across the world, and of course, Prosperity Homes, building homes in Mexico and donating the solar that we're going to be doing in May for the contest winners. So I highly encourage you, give a little monthly, give 20, 40 bucks per install, give some for Jarrett's birthday. If you find this training useful, make this part of your business. Trust me, it's only going to bring you more deals, more business, more karma, and people are going to get behind you more because they know you make donations for every customer you help. All right. So future trainings, let me load this up here. Today, we're going to have one of the best ops managers in the company, in my opinion. And then this Tuesday today, 12 o'clock, is our solar sales training every Tuesday. And check out Powur Calendar for Enphase, REC, Sunlight, Solar Edge trainings. This Wednesday, keep getting tongue-tied here. This Wednesday, 9 a.m. Pacific, masterclass training, Powur.live members on roofing. Going to be great content. And then all are welcome at the 12 p.m. Pacific CEO call this Wednesday. We're going to hear from new executives, a new lender, and hear Jonathan Budd on 12 o'clock Pacific this Wednesday. Thursdays, if you're new here, take a consultant training, 12 and 5 Pacific, every Thursday, powurcalendar.com. Again, this upcoming Monday, Powur Hour is announcing the impact results and the winners after the business presentation. Next Tuesday, we have the CFO, Mike, and Beth and Irene training us on what the heck are our stock options? How do we exercise them? How much are they worth? You know, what's the 2-year expiration? All of that stuff. And then for the winners of the impact journey, we're going to have an orientation call on Friday the 15th. And then more and more trainings to come. We will be going to Mexico May 23rd to 28th to build that home and to party in Valle de Guadalupe. Mark your calendars for June 4th. This is the date the entire company is doing a 1-day super solar Saturday training. Every market should have one. Arizona should have one, SoCal, NorCal. This is the 1 day all Powur markets are doing one big solar Saturday to also build into Powur World in Dallas, July 15th and 16th. Read your newsletters as much as you can. We just announced the hotel. I hope to see everybody there in Dallas in person in July. This Wednesday, here's the flyer for the roofing. We're going to hear from the program overview, Christina Johnson, Erwin DeLabra, and Brian McSteen. So a lot of good content going to be this Wednesday. And just to show you guys our Freedom Tour coming up, we have North Carolina events, Texas events, but much more on powurcalendar.com. And of course, here's the Powur World flyer, July 15th and 16th. The promo has been extended, 12 months, 18-month, 36-month promo. It's for Earth Day. That's later this month. You all should be looking into doing an event or a booth or a table for Earth Day. Every city, Chamber of Commerce, everyone should be at an event for Earth Day. So please start looking into events in your area. But the promotion, it is an adder. It does add to the cost. Work with your leadership or mentors, but go ahead and leverage this promotion till the end of April. And today, I'm excited to finally have Brenton Schultz. He is the best ops manager in Powur, in my opinion. He's one of the smartest. He has some of the most solar experience out of all the employees and execs in Powur. And he's always very resourceful. And I'll let you tell him a little bit about himself. But real quick, let me see if I can get through some of this operation pipeline management, Brenton. So some quick housekeeping and ground rules before we introduce Brenton. This is going to be Operations 101, classic core information. So bear with me. Pipeline management operations is more referrals. You're not going to pull your hair out and stress as much. Solar is a solar coaster. There will be mistakes. We will screw up. We will punch a hole in a wall. We will leave mess behind. We will have a broken panel. Cities will suck. Permits will get revised. Stuff will happen. So you have to be ready for this industry to understand that. And we want to message our homeowners every week with an update, getting you more money, as Paul Leon says, more referrals. Operations is super important. So you always want to set proper expectations with your homeowners. You want to sell clean deals, full electric bills, account number, meter numbers, signing your loan docs fully, get a driver's license if you want to and upload that, leave notes, job notes, what the customer wants. Brenton's going to talk about project handoff notes. And if you have a design, if you're really professional level, upload a sketch or a design or upload assets and leave notes. This is all going to help your business. You always want to keep an eye out for that. Welcome to Powur, Sally. We're so glad you went with us. Congrats on going with us. When you see the auto email, it should come from 1 to 2 business days from signing the deal. That's when you know the job has been processed through pre-sales. So always keep an eye out for that. And of course, you could always go to chat.powur.com if you have issues. So a few things here, time frames. You should get that opening email. Once you sell a deal, contract signed, loan doc signed, 1 to 2 business days. You should get a site survey scheduled within 3 to 5 days. It should be scheduled. And then the site survey, ideally, you're going to shoot from a week from then, that it's on the calendar. Once the survey is done, you should get a design sketch building layout, 7 to 10 business days, even 14 days maybe from site survey if it's a big job or a ground mount. Then once the designs are approved, you have about 5 to 8 business days until they get submitted to the city or AHJ. They're going to finalize the plans. They're going to finalize the structural calcs. They're going to submit them online or in person or whatever it takes. Some areas are over the counter, maybe 1 week or 2 weeks till it's approved. Other areas like Fullerton or cities that take forever, Diamond Bar right now, you're looking at 30 to 60 days on the permit, guys. This is standard in those areas. And if there's a revision, 45, 60 days. That is standard in some cities, especially here in Southern California. Installation should be scheduled within a week or 2 of permit being approved. Final inspection should be 1 to 2 weeks from install complete. And then permission to operate could take 1, 2, 3 weeks. It just depends on your utility. So this is some general guidelines to go off of. And this was provided from Powur, those same general guidelines, the goals that we're shooting from: site survey to permit submission, the targets, permit in hand to installation complete. So just some more timelines that Powur's provided there. Okay, 1 or 2 more things. What to do if you need help on a sold project. Take a screenshot of this. I'll even paste it in the chat if I need to. Leave a ticket on powur.com to your project manager. And normally they respond in 24 to 48 business hours. Brenton can speak to that. Some of his people respond in a few hours. Then if you still need help, text or call the project manager. If you still need help, email the project manager and CC the operations manager, Brenton, if it's in California. You still have issues, you can text and call the operations manager. And you could even use the chat.powur.com, or call the support line, 866-GO-POWUR. And if your customers ever need customer support, maybe you're not available, they have a fancy app. Make sure your clients download the My Powur app. They can check notes, milestones, chat, give you referrals. Super important. And your customers can always go to chat.powur.com or call or go to customer care at powur.com. So this is the order of operations for post sales. I understand there's frustrations. I understand there's miscommunications. Issues and errors will happen, but please stick to this as much as possible and try not to over email, over text, CC 10 people. It's just clogging up the bandwidth for these people to do their jobs properly. All right. Now we got through all that exciting information. Brenton, we'd love to hear from you. Quick backstory, how you got to where you are today, what you've been doing to this point, and tell us about your team. Thanks for being here.
Cool. Thank you, Jonathan. First of all, guys, thank you guys so much for everything you guys do. The sales lately have been incredible. Seen a huge growth in California, especially been here almost a year and a half. So definitely between now and then, it's been epic on the growth, but especially just this quarter, I've noticed a huge uptake in sales. So you guys are killing it. Keep up the amazing work. Without you guys, we won't be scaling where we need to be. So great job. Definitely appreciate the hard work. Background on me, for those that don't know me, been at Powur almost a year and a half. How I got here, I used to be an installer back in the day. Used to be on the roof, installing solar, became a foreman, ran my own crew for a while, became, a construction manager running the installation crews at a specific installer, and then just started managing roofing after that, and jumped over here to Powur and been here for the last year and a half. And honestly, it's been an amazing journey. Love it. The freedom that we have here is amazing. So definitely appreciate everything Powur has to offer. My team, Britta, Karen, Justin, Jacqueline, Lacey, Lonnie, Michael, Sherry. That's all of California PMs right there. Here to help assist them and you guys any way I can. Like Jonathan was saying, please try to utilize tickets as much as possible. Obviously, loop me in if you guys aren't getting the responses you guys need. Definitely help. Happy to help out. I'm in meetings a lot of times. I will most likely text you back if I miss your call. So my apologies if I do, but I will make sure to always text you or shoot me a text, whatever's easier. Let's see here. So, are we hiring a new PM?
Real
Did you have
quick,
a question?
Brenton.
Yeah, sure.
As far as your team's concerned, do certain PMs get assigned to certain installers? Is that how it works for the newer people here?
So we're continuing our growth in Powur and operations and how we manage things. So things are consistently changing with how we're evolving. We're evolving in all aspects of the company, and I know that's pretty vague. But yeah, I mean, the old way was each PM was allocated to a partner. So anything that was assigned to that installation partner would be also allocated to that PM. They went hand in hand. And currently it's still the same way, but in the near future, we're going to be more homeowner based, where the PM is assigned to the homeowner. It's not going to matter who the PM is with the partner in the near future. At least that's our thoughts and where we're looking to go. As far as that goes, we're not there yet. But with how Powur Services, how we're growing with having Powur Services be a part of, everything going internal, things are evolving, things are changing, and there's going to be a lot of growth and things that will change with how PM allocation to projects go in the future. And that's already evolving, and I'll touch on that here probably on the next slide. But yeah, we are hiring for 2 new PMs for the state of California. We're honestly hiring across the board, but specifically for California, yeah, we're hiring 2 new PMs. And the whole point of this is you guys are just killing sales. We're getting loaded. We have so many projects coming in with how well you guys are doing. We're going to hire 2 new PMs to help even out that workload, so we can obviously provide a better customer experience and seller experience. So that way we can keep our quality of communication up and just overall do better and have better quality of work. So currently hoping to have a few interviews. I'm hoping this week or next week, and get some new team members in here, get them trained up, get them up to Powur standards, and just make sure we're rolling efficiently and effectively.
Awesome.
How many jobs does a PM have? So right now, I'm trying my best to spread the wealth out between partners and PMs as evenly as possible to not overload any one PM. Obviously, some people have the ability and skill set to take on a higher workload than others, but that's the whole point why we want to start hiring more people to set a standard of a max capacity for PMs to bring that higher level for the seller and the homeowner. So that's all things that are in the works, part of our growth, part of things that we're trying to work on. We're not there yet, but it's all in the works. It's all moving, and we'll be there shortly. what's changing in operations. The biggest thing, two things that we're focused on last quarter and this quarter, and honestly for the rest of the year, along with other things. But the biggest things my team, I would say we're working on, is lowering cycle times, because the quicker we get a project done, the happier everybody is. And bringing on Powur services, which we're hoping that's going to obviously help with the cycle times and give Powur more control over the project through the whole course of the project. So Powur services, what that is we're bringing everything internal. Everything's coming in-house except for installation and inspection. We're 100%. We've been 100% for a long time in San Diego, in the San Diego market, Powur services. We just recently went full scale Powur services in LA, Orange County, and San Diego now. And I think in the near future, I think our next regions, maybe the Fresno surrounding area and possibly the Bay Area to hit next in California. Looking forward to see which territories those will be. But Powur services is going to be site surveys, design, permitting, and interconnection. We're 100% on every single project in California currently, doing 100% of all interconnections. So when you guys have those PTOs that are taking a long time, it's going to be 100% 100% Powur services that are taking that on. So those PTO times should already be drastically improving. But heads up, irrigation districts are always kind of a pain. Those are the utilities that usually take longer for PTOs. I know I'm kind of going fast. Jonathan, anything you want me to hit on specifically in
No,
this area?
this is great. I think you explained what Powur services is, that Powur's taking over the site survey, the field surveyors that we have now, the designs in-house, even submitting permit and the AHJs that we can, and then taking it on the back end to interconnection. So more control, guys, faster speeds. I think Jonathan Budd even said it's reducing cycle times by 8.5 days already with our programs that we're doing.
Yeah, with the overall cycle times we're seeing great growth in reduction of cycle times across the board. It's still something that we're scaling on and going to continue to grow and improve on as well. We're learning as we do it, so we're only going to get better at it.
Yeah, I think Chris Bunch joined. He heads up the design division. He came from SunPower, Sunrun. We have new build partners and new executives joining, so it really feels like it's getting better. Now we have a new permit department.
Correct. Yeah. So we have a new permitting department. Now, we're limited. We're all virtual companies. So anything that's an online submittal for now, at least, will be Powur services permitting. Anything that needs an in-person submittal, that's going to be on the partner until we get scaled to do that. Like in LA, Orange County, San Diego, we have survey technicians. We have actual physical humans that work for Powur, going and doing these surveys in-house 100%, just like an install partner would do. So maybe in the near future, we might be seeing that on the permitting side as well. I know in San Diego, we've had a couple one-offs where we've had to utilize a technician to go do that for us, and not a problem, they did. So yeah.
Great. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And I know with some of the permit submissions in certain counties and AHJs, there's a little learning curve, as Chris Bunch told me. So we're only going to get faster and better as we submit more of our own permits.
Yep. We're building our database for permitting. So, we got to have business licenses in all these locations. So as our business licenses grow, the more that we'll be able to do in that department as well. So that is continuing to grow as we purchase new business licenses and new AHJs.
Yeah, awesome. And then just a few notes here. I think Tom Cotter posted the LinkedIn job board for the project manager. So if you know a project manager, use the LinkedIn to refer them to Powur. And then as far as your team's concerned, Brenton, obviously all of them roll up to you, and then you kind of roll up to, I believe, Kevin Smoker. Is that kind of the org chart?
Yep.
Yep. Okay,
Totally.
cool. I think someone was asking. Well, let's go ahead and move on to the other slide, and we'll still monitor the Q&A, and we'll get to that once we're done, guys. So how do jobs get assigned?
So I do all currently I'm doing 100% of assignments for projects currently. This is going to be taken over by an intake team here in the very, very near future, within the next week or two. There's going to be another department taking that on. Process should be the same as what I do. It's just going to be another team to help with the workload and spread out the workload. But yeah, if you guys have a partner that you want to request, no problem. We try to make all accommodations to any partner requests. They're not always guaranteed, however, but we do our best to make those accommodations when requested. Now, if the install partner, for whatever reasons, that capacity, it's out of their territory, those would be like the underlying reasons why it might not go to that partner. Because we do have capacity restraints sometimes. If we get a large volume of requests or sales to that specific partner, we got to do what's right and kind of slow down sometimes to make sure that they are being efficient as well. So sometimes we have to give them the opportunity to catch up and not overload them. We don't want to give them overload their workload where they stop performing. But nonetheless, we try to accommodate all requests if possible. Now with Powur Services taking over, like we're going to be taking over the state here pretty soon with Powur Services. But how it is right now in San Diego, LA, Orange County, any partner requests, no problem. Just know that these requests will go through Powur Services in the beginning steps, and then we can accommodate that request after design and permitting is completed. Then we can make that assignment to that partner that was requested at that point. There are some blockers for Powur Services, and that accounts for VSSs as well. So if you do a VSS or it is a Powur Services project, currently, and this is all going to change in the near future, but as of right now, we are not doing ground mounts and battery projects within Powur Services. So any VSSs or anything in those territories will directly go straight to a partner out the gate, just for clarity.
Got it.
What should be in the project handoff notes, partner requests, and any non-standard job specific customer expectations, anything you guys think we should know that's out of the norm, or anything you want to give us a heads up on, please just put it in there. Even if it's not necessary, doesn't hurt to put it in there. Over communication always helps. But yeah, anything non-standard or any specific customer expectations, throw it in the project handoff notes. It's a beautiful tool, and what it does on our end, just so you guys know, is it puts an alert on my page. The minute I open up a project for the first time, it blasts my screen. I can't move forward until I acknowledge your note, and neither can the PM. So the first time anybody in operations opens up a project, we get a big alert on our screen. We can't move forward. So it's like a huge reminder, like, hey, don't miss this. So the project handoff notes are huge for anything you guys want us to know in the beginning. That's the reason why we ask, please make sure you have your notes in the project handoff notes at time of sale. And I try to be very quick, unless I go on vacation, which isn't that often. I'm consistently going through that. I try to take the weekends off of work, but even at night on the weekends, I go through the assignment funnel and I try to be quick about getting these assignments, these new projects assigned. So just please make sure those are in as soon as possible. How are California installers doing? We're consistently, working with partners to make sure that we're bringing the best services and that we're offboarding partners that shouldn't be on our platform that aren't doing well and performing well with cycle times. We're consistently looking at their cycle times and how they're performing, and working with them. Sometimes it's a coaching thing or whatever the circumstance is, or just being aligned. So we're working with partners, top grading, doing what we need to do. But that's part of also Powur Services. We're bringing all these services in-house so that we have the control. Permits in Powur's name. If it's in Powur's name, Powur's in full control everything is going to be in Powur's name 100%, which is the hugest thing. So Powur Services, once we go full scale, which we'll be at soon, is going to just take over everything and change operations 100%. We currently have 31 active partners in California that cover pretty much most of the state. Let's see here. Who's doing site survey? Okay, so who is doing site survey in California? So we do, like I was saying earlier, we do have survey technicians that will be doing anything in San Diego, LA, Orange County, physical site surveys. Otherwise, your guys' VSSs that you guys come in with, those will go to Powur Services if it's in a non-area where we don't have a technician. So anything VSS or LA, Orange County, San Diego will all go through Powur Services at this point in time. Otherwise, an installation partner will be doing the site survey. Also, if it's in our technicians regions or VSS, but it's a ground mount or battery project, it'll automatically go to an installation partner, and Powur will not be doing those services in the beginning.
And if we leave like in project handoff notes, this concrete tile roof is 30 years old, homeowner wants the underlayment inspected thoroughly, we're not going to assign that to our virtual site survey field guys because they're not equipped to get up on the roof. So that would be something in project handoff notes. If we have specifics, that might trigger the survey to be done by the installer. Is that right?
Yeah, so any of those virtual site surveys that are conducted, they go to another team that does a full review, and they'll disqualify it or move it forward. That's a different team within Powur Services. As soon as they DQ something, maybe it's something that you guys brought to our attention, maybe it's something that they noticed just from reviewing the project, they'll kick it back to me and say, hey, please assign this to an installation partner. At that point, I'll get it over there. They're usually pretty quick, within 24 hours of an active project hitting the queue. Within 24 hours, they're either moving forward or denying it and kicking it back to me to assign to a partner. Okay,
great. And if someone wants to become a surveyor and make $100 a survey or whatever, it's in the newsletter. If Tom Cotter can probably paste it within a minute here, but if you do want to look into becoming a certified surveyor, taking the photo packs, you can make a little bit of money and go door knock every time you go out there and post a social media video. Like my friend Michael Pham, he does a lot of that and he's building his business. So, okay, cool. Well, let's move into our last slide, I think here, some feedback, and then we'll look at the questions that have been typed in the chat. What do consultants do well that we should do more of? Brenton, what do you like to see from us? Clean deals, good notes. What do you guys enjoy? What do the PMs tell you that they like from the best ones?
Honestly, the PM handoff notes in the recent days have been amazing, super helpful. It's actually helped us catch a few issues on the front end. So keep the project handoff notes coming in. That I think that's the most helpful, getting that upfront communication out the gate. By far the best tool I think that we have right now for the start of a project between sales and ops.
Got it. Yeah, I mean, leaving some design notes. If you can't use this side, use this side, or as much notes as you can.
Yeah, and like I said, those blast the screen anybody in our team that opens up the project for the first time. So anybody in Powur Services, the first time they view that profile, they're going to see those handoff notes. Doesn't matter what stage of the project it is, whether it's the designer, the survey, survey team within Powur Services, we're all going to get blasted that note.
Got it. What are some common pain points, aggravations for your team? What can us consultants do better? Like at the last mile, day before install, change orders, customer change their layout, or what other frustrations, what are some pain points that you guys takes up a lot of your time we could do better at?
That's a good question. Sometimes we'll have an old utility bill and we just need a more recent one. So just making sure the U bill is as recent as possible. I think, and I could be wrong, I think the standard is 6 months since contract sign. I could be wrong, but just the most current utility bill and the full utility bill. That's nothing major, but it does happen every now and then. The other thing I would just say is, like you were saying earlier, I know we could all improve on communication. The whole team can. So I understand sometimes the frustration on your guys' end, not having as quick of communication as you'd like. And it's, like I said, something we're going to be working on, especially with hiring new PMs, but just allowing the PM the opportunity to reply back to that ticket within 24 hours before sending a ticket, an email, a phone call, and a text message all within 5 minutes. It's not that we don't like you guys. It's just we do get backed up because we get a ton of messages and a ton of emails. So then I feel like the PM feels like they need to respond to each one of those. And it just takes up time. I know it's not a lot of time, but between everything, it does add up, especially with the volume of people that they work with. But yeah, just trying to, unless it's urgent, obviously, hey, we're at install, there's an issue. Call me, text me, blow me up, blow the PM up. I get it. You're at install, there's an issue right then and there. Totally makes sense. Do what you got to do to get through to us. Happy to help. Text me, call me, start a group chat with the PM and me. Doesn't matter. Time of install, I get it. It's a fire. But if it's not a fire and it's something that can wait a couple hours or 24 hours, please just try to use tickets if it's something that's not super, super, super urgent. I get it. We all want to get feedback as fast as possible, but
Yeah. Keep
keep
emotions out of it. Keep facts and logic and respond versus reacting. And don't email 5 hours later if someone didn't reply to your email, and stick to the order of operations.
You guys will see. I'll probably be emailing. I'm trying to keep up with things through the day, but we get so much stuff coming in through the day. You'll see me emailing super late at night sometimes, but I'll always try to get back to you guys as soon as I can as well.
Yeah, you work too much. That's why I give you Amazon gift cards in your email.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, cool. Pain points. So any like kind of last advice? How do we, oh, by the way, what's your PM's response time on tickets? I think someone asked, like, is it an average of 14 hours, 9 hours? It just kind of depends.
I mean, I could pull up a metrics right now and see what our average response time is, but it needs to be within 24 hours. They need to be responding within 24 hours nonetheless. That's our goal.
Yeah.
24 business hours, technically, yes. But like I could pull up a metrics and tell you exactly where we're at right now. Our average response time at this point in time right now is 1 hour. Our max response time is 8 hours, and our longest response time has been 1 day and 16 hours.
Not bad. That's awesome. And I'm sure with more PMs, it's only going to get better too, and more power services. So before we move into some questions in the chat, just about adders, like, what are we missing? Are we missing electrical panels? What adders are often missed, or what adders are thrown in late stage, or, people complain D-rates. They complain about, oh, I didn't know there was this cost, and now I have a $600 cost, like, because we're cost of goods. So just anything about adders you can advise.
One thing that I noticed, it doesn't happen that often. Usually I think the intake team catches these, but sometimes they slip through the cracks. Solar Edge jobs cannot be sold with a in-charge in-phase battery. So just heads up there, you're going to get hit with having to do a change order to change that to an in-phase system. If you sell, they're not compatible together. Also see a lot of adders. Most partners and everybody have a tile roof adder. So if it's tile roof, just expect that there's probably going to be a tile roof adder associated with that project. I love the fact that a lot of you guys do TBD panel upgrades just in case it's needed. Definitely nice to have that accounted for on the front end if there's no concerns with having that extra margin in the project. So I'm loving seeing all the TBD MPUs. But yeah, I'd really say the one that comes up the most would probably be the tile ladder that's not sold out the gate.
Okay.
But you know what? A lot of times I think consultants have enough margin in a project, or they know to have enough margin in the project that they're kind of not worried about it. But I'm not sure how you guys run your operations from that standpoint.
All right.
Oh, and then EV adders. One thing that I do notice a lot is miscellaneous electrical work being used a lot of times, and it will be a random dollar amount. Maybe it's $500, maybe it's $2,000. Anytime you guys utilize the miscellaneous electrical adder, please put in PM handoff notes what that adder is for, because it's such a vague adder. We have no idea. Most consultants, from what I've been seeing, have been using it just to have extra margin in case, hey, you know what, I put this in just in case there's a panel relocation, whatever the circumstance is. But I've had a few, and I know Matt Gordon was working on getting the EV charger adder in Solo updated, so that way you guys could actually utilize a correct EV charger adder through Solo. But in the past, I think that's been done, but in the past, before that was done, a lot of consultants were using miscellaneous electrical adder for EV chargers, but then weren't specifying that it was for an EV charger. And I know there was a couple of those that slipped through the cracks, and we had to get those added on late in the project. But I feel like we've had that resolved, but just extra clarification on what the miscellaneous electrical adders for would be very helpful.
All righty, good deal. Tom, do you have anything to add or any questions before we move to the chat?
I think it's good. This is really helpful, Brenton.
All right, good. So let's go ahead and go through the chat here first, guys. Try to wrap it up in maybe 10, 15 minutes. And let me just go through the chat. And then if you want, you could raise your hand. We'll get to that too in a second. Okay, you defined Powur services. What are consultants allowed to do to help make the project faster? For example, contacting the AHJ or the utility.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind if you guys want to reach out and do that. That's not a problem at all. I would honestly like to have the PM be doing that kind of stuff, though.
Yes.
Asking me to have them follow up with it. I don't dig in, I'm not digging through their pipelines in detail. Got 1,200 projects in the pipeline. I'm not going to be digging through each one of these individually unless something's brought to my attention. So if you bring something to my attention, like, hey, this has been submitted for permit a month ago, what's going on? Or however long it's been, let me know. I'll dig into it and possibly ask the PM to reach out to the HJ themselves. But hopefully, like I said, with Powur services coming in, these type of issues shouldn't be a problem in the near future.
Right. Someone asked, and I'll get to you in a bit, Mike, but someone asked if we can have a list of partners we work with. And I'm just going to say that we cannot be giving out lists of our partners. You sell more deals, you get to know your installer, you go to your installs, you make relationships. That's my advice, but would you agree with that, Brenton?
Yeah, I agree. We want to try to keep ops and sales in a sense kind of separate in that aspect. Communication to go through the PM just alleviates any miscommunication expectations that were may have set between whoever was talked to, and then it wasn't relayed or the PM wasn't aware. So just making sure that that communication between the seller and the partner is all going through the PM.
Right. A lot of installers get frustrated and complain to Powur because they have reps blowing them up, guys. So we just can't do it. We have to trust the PMs, trust Powur services, and it will work. I've
had issues in the past where a consultant's reached out to an install partner and said, hey, add this to the project. And then we get an invoice and it's like way more than what we expected. And I'm like, partner, I'm not paying you for whatever this is. What is this? And they're like, oh, well, the consultant told us to do it. And I'm like, That would have been good to know. So then we were updating work orders, doing commission adjustments,
Right.
late stage. I mean, it's nice to know that, hey, the consultant was aware of the additional charge, but we need to be aware as well.
Lorenzo asked, when assigning projects, will price vary with different install partners? And I know I have an answer for that, but I'm not sure if you want to take a shot at that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you know, the pricing is pretty competitive and pretty close. Pricing varies between region, you know, Bay Area and Southern California and NorCal. You know, pricing is completely different for each region. But for the most part, you know, every partner, we have pretty competitive pricing, but they do slightly vary between partners. So yes, construction costs could vary slightly between each partner.
Hey, there's Brenton. Yeah, my answer to that would just be that solo proposal tool should show the higher end of the adder, the $2,500 MPU and the $500 stucco and paint, for example. You might find that your installer does it for $1,800 and $300. Guess what? You just got a few $100 more commission, but solo should more often than not show the higher end of the pricing. And we're all blessed if we get a little more commission out of the deal. All right, let's keep going here. I know we got 2 hands raised. How many installers are in Colorado? I'm not sure if you know that, Brenton, not really applicable for this conversation. All right, just going down.
I'm seeing a few. The flat roof and clay tile is definitely an adder. For those popping up in the chat, yeah, flat roof is usually a 5 to 10 cent adder, depending on the location and the partner. Clay tile roofs, 100% of clay tile roofs. We shouldn't be doing clay tile roof adders anymore. Every clay tile roof, and I know you guys probably aren't going to like to hear this, needs to be a comp shingle inset. So it's going to require a roofing bid through
Yep.
Solo. Yep, for a comp shingle inset on all clay tile roofs. So I'm not sure if that was updated in Solo. I don't play in Solo ever, so I know Matt Gordon was working on updating and possibly removing the clay tile adder and making it where we have to get a roofing proposal for clay tile roofs.
It's still there, but if you guys have clay tile, you have to get the roofing department to get you a custom roof quote for that. And thank you, Isela. Anytime you communicate, always include the homeowner name, last name, and the project number. Make that your subject line. Always communicate with that.
Yeah, that's super right there. That is super helpful, especially when I get added into an email super late in the chain. Sometimes I'm scrolling for days trying to figure out who we're talking about. So yeah, that's super helpful. Thank you.
Who is responsible for updating milestones, and what can we expect for turnaround? So the milestones is that installer, is that PM, or who's kind of responsible for updating that? Is it automatic triggers?
It's both. It's both install partner and PMs updating those. There's certain ones that only the PM can update, like the installation schedule milestone. Only a PM can update that one, just because that sets a certain trigger for procurement to order materials. But yeah, it's both of them. They should both be updating milestones as necessary, and updating PM notes. So, but the PM is the only one that can update the PM notes, the PM and myself.
Okay. Lily, we'll take your question offline about the mechanics lien, the CED letter I think you're referring to. Powur includes a notice in that letter, so it really shouldn't be a problem. And then Larry said, how can we tell if we need a travel adder or not? I believe in the coverage maps, if you open up the PDF, it shows you certain areas that require a travel adder and some that don't, right? Do you run into travel adders that much, Brenton, in California anymore?
I feel like a lot of our regional pricing has kind of alleviated a lot of that, because the higher price per watt for certain regions like the Bay Area have a higher pricing, have kind of alleviated a lot of those travel adders. You guys are all pretty much selling within our territories, so anything that's outside of our territory obviously would need a travel adder, but I don't really see it happening as often as I used to.
Got it. Owen Carey said, on day of install, can we have the PMs update us or the homeowner for next steps? Sometimes the installer just comes back the next day. They make it seem like they're done, or they show up the next day at 8 a.m. How do we improve the expectations and arrival windows? Or maybe we could provide that feedback to Kevin and Ethan.
Yeah, no, it's great feedback, and it's a good question. I'm actually going to jot down notes for my next PM huddle tomorrow morning in regards to that. You know, it's just us tightening up our communication with the installation partner. Job scheduled for one day, we're expecting them to be done in one day, and maybe they don't finish and need to come back and fix up some loose ends the next day. So just setting that expectation that it may roll into a second day. So maybe we change our customer expectation, even if it's a 1 day install, to just let the homeowner know that it could roll into a second day,
Right.
possibly.
Could we, sorry to jump in on this, it's just an idea, like, could we have the installer knock on the door before they go and just say, hey, just so you know, we're actually gonna be back tomorrow?
Totally. Yeah, they should be doing that 100%.
Yeah.
100%. They should be doing that. That's just something that we need to work on with our partners. So if you ever have any issues with anything like that, I don't mind if you guys shoot me back feedback anytime on an install.
And you're saying too, if you know, if something is happening, sometimes I'll call a project manager and they're busy, it's best to give you a call, or what is the best line of communication at that point?
It definitely best to utilize tickets, like I said, unless it's something urgent, but I would main focus would be having that communication with the project manager. It's super urgent, or you're not getting any communication, or it's an escalation or anything of that sort, definitely loop me in. I don't mind. To be honest with you guys, I do forward a lot of calls to text, just mainly because I'm in meetings like this all day long. But yeah, if you need something urgent and you can't get a hold of the PM, maybe they're in a meeting and you need something urgent, text me. I don't mind, but I would definitely say try to mostly go through the PM if possible.
Got it.
But I don't mind stepping in to help out.
David Perez, what's up, sir?
Oh yeah, quick question, Brendan. Is there any tips that you could give us to help speed up like the MPU meter spots? So I've had a lot of projects where the permit is approved and then the utility is just really slow with the turnaround on that. So should we have the customer call direct? Just any tips to help speed that up?
That's a tough one. Meter spots, we're kind of on the utilities timeline. And to be honest with you, I don't know where you're primarily selling, but San Diego just got worse. See if I can find an email that I had with San Diego, but San Diego meter spots are taking they're taking several weeks. Like, I'm going to try to find an email and circle back on that. But yeah, meter spots are hard. We're on their timeline. So power services projects, you know, as soon as we get design, I'm assigning those to a partner out the gate, even if we're doing permitting, to get those meter spots sent in as soon as the design is complete. So, hey, we got the design, we know it needs an MPU. It's going to an installation partner that same day to get the meter spot started. So we're trying to get meter spots started as soon as designs are completed, but we're really on that utilities timeline. And San Diego right now is by far the worst. We got an email, I have it right here. We are currently 8 to 10 weeks from when we processed your request before we will assign a planner. So 8 to 10 weeks before they even review it for a meter spot. And then we got to get in San Diego, we got to get a work order for them just to get the permit. So then we got to go through the work order process. So San Diego, we're trying to avoid MPUs any way possible. If a homeowner wants it and they don't need it, I highly suggest trying to talk them out of it. If they want it, hey, no problem, we'll do it. Just need to set that expectation that it's going to take a long time, especially in San Diego.
If you know it needs an MPU, David, I would probably, right around site survey complete, leave that ticket like, did we request meter spot for your PM? And go ahead and ask the PM. And oftentimes they'll say that the phone number or the planning office that was assigned to it in the ETA. Once or twice I've called Edison Planning just to check myself and see if I could help push it forward. I'm going to go ahead and record this end this recording at this time. We're going to go ahead and stay on for another minute or two. I know Brenton probably has to go, but Brenton, huge shout out to you and your team, everything you're doing for California. Favorite OM in the business. Thank you so much for your help today, brother. Appreciate it.
Thank you guys. Keep killing it on those sales.
Will do. Let's rock and roll. This is going to be the biggest summer ever and the biggest year for California and Powur ever. So let's do it.
I'm already seeing it. I mean, the number of assignments that come into my bucket is insane. Just to be honest with you, like I remember maybe like a year ago, I'd go into that funnel. There might be 7-8 projects a day that came through. I'm thinking I'm seeing like over 30 to 40 new projects come through a day. So it's been incredible. So good job, guys.
Thank you.
Brandon,
Thank you.
could we do some